My friends, I have had somewhat of a dilemma on my mind. There is a farm that I need to build, but there are two ways in which I could build it. One would be to create an outpost like our witch farm here that we could visit and farm the materials. And the other would be big, bold, risky and ambitious and integrate this crazy farm into our base. You see, we, my friends, need a lot of shulker shells because we are upgrading to shulker shell storage. Look at this. These are the drops from our witch farm, and also we have an ink farm here as well. And now they're automatically getting packaged into shulker boxes and coming up to the AFK spot. So now when I want to get drops and stuff, I don't have to fly down below and pick them up or do any of that. All I have to do is just AFK, turn around, and they're automatically brought up the top here. The level of convenience is game-changing, but it does mean I need to get my hands on lots of shulker shells, so we need to build a shulker farm. And now that we're down here at the bottom of the witch farm, let me show you the modifications, as there's quite a few. You'll see now that the hoppers point into automatic dispensers, which take all the items and put them into a water stream. Where does this go? Over to the bottom of the witch farm. So it was last episode, or maybe the episode before, that we built a contraption that automatically feeds items into shulker boxes. This is that contraption again. It is a little awkward to show you because it's just in a hole in the ground, but you can see all of the shulkers lining up here to be filled with items. And up above we have the classic impulse item filter, making sure that all the items that come through go to the correct space. And it just so happens that when I'm up there in the sky, fishes can actually spawn in the water spots down here. Like, look at that, there's some evidence. So yes, occasionally other items make their way through, and you might have seen the particle effects. We've got a fire over here, so any items that don't make it through the item filter automatically get destroyed. And while I was here, I also had to change our witch farm because in the next update of Minecraft 1.19.4, mobs aren't going to spawn on scaffolding. And one of the reasons we built our witch farm with scaffolding is because it stops the witches from walking around on the inside. So the idea was that they wouldn't be able to wander around because they're standing on scaffolding, and that makes the farm slightly more efficient. But as you can see, I've prepared for the future by swapping this out with terracotta blocks. And it looks like one of our flying machines actually got broken and stuck down the end here, which really shouldn't have happened. If I leave the area while the farm's running or the server restarts, it'll break, but that has not happened since I've fixed this. So maybe there's another condition that can cause that I'm not aware of. Fixing this can be highly dangerous if there are witches inside. And I can see where you are, their hats stick through the roof. So to fix this, you need to break and place a block in front of the observer. And usually I use slime blocks, but I seem to have misplaced my ender chest. And I can't put a scaffolding there, but if I put one here, and then quickly place and break. Oh, and break that too. There we go, we fixed it. So yes, I've been busy in between episodes. I've also been hanging out with my fellow hermits, and I have something rather humorous to show you next.
Okay, Zuba, you got to go through this door right here. It's this little red door. I finished this last night. I want to see your reaction. I'm excited for this one. It's a cool little interior.
It's got like, I feel like there's a trap coming up or something.
No, never.
Ah! God damn it! Oh man!
Got him!
Oh,
Got him!
Why is the dude still blinking? He's not a real creeper, is he? He's a fake creeper.
No, he's not. He's not.
I'm just gonna live here now.
That is fantastic.
Fun times, fun times. You may have also seen a short uploaded to the channel with Doc playing the 45-second incorrect answers game. There's going to be one with Scar in the future too. And while I was hanging out with Doc, he gave me a tour of his base and this really cool new farm that he built. It is a string farm, unlike any other you might have seen before. It only spawns spiders because they can spawn on mud blocks, which give them a little extra room to spawn. And then there's an iron farm that sends iron golems down the very middle, and the spiders are attracted to the iron golem, and then they fall to their death down the bottom. So it is a combo farm for string and iron, a very cool farm. And guess what we're going to be doing today? Building an equally cool farm. And originally I wanted to put it through the side where we have this space for expansion. I've actually been hanging out in this area quite a bit when I smelt my items, just scratching my head, trying to think of what we could put through there. And it felt like I wanted a spectacle. And what I mean by that is a farm that just runs in this area and you can stand back and look at it in all of its glory. And at the beginning of the episode I mentioned wanting to be ambitious and do something big and bold, but sadly what I would want to build through here would require an extraordinary amount of space. I'd have to rebuild some of my cactus farms and basically build a new part of the mountain out the back here, and I just don't think this is the way forward to go. The farm I wish to build is a shulker shell farm. This is a design by Ending Credits, and I think 2 of these farms have already been built on Hermitcraft, so we're going to build a 3rd one. And if you're wondering as to why I needed to clear so much space, it's because shulkers can teleport, so I wanted to build like a giant room around this thing that was a spectacle to look at, and therefore we needed a lot of space between the scaffolding here and the walls at the edge of the room. And so sadly it would have been unfeasible to put it in that spot, and I couldn't really find another place in the base that made sense for it. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Ending Credits, the author of this farm. You'll find all the links you need to their channel and the tutorial, etc. if you want to build this yourself in the description box down below. They were also kind enough to hop on my redstone server and help figure out the dimensions of this space that I needed around the edge, as well as customizing the farm to make it as small as possible. And once we figured out exactly how big this space behind me would need to be, sadly it just wasn't going to be feasible on Hermitcraft. But for now I will hold on to this idea. Maybe there's another farm that can fit into this space and we can build a really cool spectacle in this area to look at it when it's running. So I last recorded 9 days ago. Yep, that's right, I got a nasty bug, I've been under the weather. But as of right now, I've got my strength and my energy back. I'm able to record again, which is fantastic. But while I was sick, I was able to actually continue playing on the Hermitcraft server. And so out here in the End Dimension, near an end city, I have indeed constructed a shulker farm. Now, due to being under the weather, I didn't go ahead and record a time-lapse or anything demanding like that, but I recorded some key moments like picking up a shulker through the wall, which turned out to just be really simple and straightforward. And that was one of the very first things that I did. I made sure I had a shulker in a minecart before I started building this thing. And when it was finished, it was a little tricky to figure out, but eventually I managed to put a rail behind the shulker, and I used a minecart with furnace, which I very rarely ever use, and as you can see it turned out to be pretty helpful. I rammed this thing full of coal, probably more than it actually needed, and it almost looked like the shulker was going to make its way to the top here, but it did come back down, so this thing was very useful in pushing the shulker all the way up there and keeping it out of range of me, and there was an activator rail, so the shulker jumped into the farm area, and the minecart just sat there on the track, well, until it got nudged off. So what would be the best way for me to introduce you to the farm? Not just flying over to it, but showing you some glorious cinematics of the farm in action. So we have our sweeping in shot from a nearby end city. This is the city that I got the shulker from because in order to get the farm up and running we needed to put one inside. So this thing is built out of sandstone slabs and scaffolding. There's a nice yellow tone, and what you're looking at right here is some sort of shulker charger that sends tons of shulker bullets into the very middle of the farm where this shulker sits. There's also snow golems here that are trying to shoot at an endermite in a minecart, and this causes the shulker here to get hit by bullets over and over again so that it duplicates itself. And it's a little hard to see, but these newly created shulkers will teleport up into the scaffolding above. There's multiple layers here, it's kind of hard to see it happening, but then from those locations they'll teleport up again. And as they make their way up here, they're eventually going to go into a killing chamber at the very top, and that's where we get our shulker shells. So inside of here there's soul sand and wither roses, and when the shulkers open up their shell to have a look, they hit the wither rose, they get withered, and eventually they die, and there's hoppers underneath the soul sand to pick up the items. All in all, it's an absolutely incredible farm that's really technical and tricky to build, and I was able to do that with the help of Ending Credits. If you're watching this video, my dude, thank you for your patience and helping me fix quite a few little problems that I had before I got this thing up and running. Yes, there was indeed issues, and it was mainly really silly things like just missing a slab or a piece of scaffolding in a certain place. So I want to use my free cam just to explain this last concept of the farm. There's kind of like a loop that goes around to keep a fresh shulker down at the bottom. when the shulker down there dies because of all the shulker bullets, the minecart goes across and it goes up through this water stream. It lands on a rail, it can go across and pick up a fresh shulker, and then it gets sat here until it's needed again. If we had to just go directly down below this thing, you'll see it drops all the way down to here, and I think when it lands, that's when it gets separated from the minecart, which will go back up to the top, and then the shulker will sit down there. There's also some crazy magic going on with like armor stands too, and setting all of this up was kind of crazy, but it works really well. So well, in fact, that on the thumbnail, you saw I put it there, 100,000 shulker shells, right? And I did that with like 2 overnight sessions. This thing is so fast and efficient that it just pumps out the shells. And because of that, I built a shulker box loader, and apparently I've actually run out of shulker boxes here. Wow, so how many do we have stock? Look at this. Yep, I've done the math. This is over 100,000 shulker shells, can you believe it? And it actually asks the question of how many trips does it take to move all these shulker boxes back. I will come and pick some up whenever I need them. I've already got like over 10 of them back at the base as well, so I'll take a few more back with me. And what we're going to do next is just have a little bit of fun, essentially giving some of these away. Well, I am going to charge, but they're going to be dirt cheap. And I'm going to give these away with some chests as well. And so in order to do that, I need to be able to craft a whole bunch of chests. And I do have a reasonable amount of wood down here. But you may remember that earlier in the season, we produced like, I don't know, like 8 shulker boxes of each type of netherwood. And believe it or not, I've run through all of those supplies. So I decided to build a new farm for bone meal here in the base. But in order to get to where that is, you might notice that our storage system here has been somewhat upgraded. Yes, I decided to build yet another shulker box compacting system. You can see it here if I find the right angle. All the shulker boxes are in place. There's a big filter system up above. And it was when I was deciding what items need to be filtered into shulker boxes that I realized my mistake. I don't need to build this each and every time I have a storage system, right? What I do have is an excessive amount of cobble and stone all stashed away in these shulker boxes. And down in my little secret storage area where there's a whole bunch of chests. Yep, all of these are also filled to the brim with stone and cobblestone. So I won't harp on about the particulars of how I'm storing my items, but I kind of need to come back here and just selectively choose which ones actually use the shulker box loaders, and then it'll be regular filters for everything else, because we could put andesite, granite, diorite, and so many more materials in this little storage area. Now this little gap in the wall is here for a reason, because we're going to expand this area of our base again down into this spot where I have constructed a skeleton spawner. Well, not the spawner block, but the farm around it. This thing had been sitting there for a while, and I figured when I need bones, I always have to travel somewhere. Wouldn't it be cool just to pick it up in my base? And that's when I started to think about different ways that we could clear the skeletons off of the platform. And I love the idea of having some flying machines, 2 of them in fact, that go across, then down, then back to the beginning and up again, and have 2 of those go around constantly so that the skeletons are spawning and they're just getting wiped off the platform. But it turns out that the redstone for that is just too big for my brain. If you like the idea and you want to roll with it, see if you can make that contraption. It could be a really cool one. So then I started to think about water streams and how you could do them really simply, and it turns out that this right here is a little bit faster than the normal method of using water to clear out skeletons. So they spawn and they move pretty quickly down to the edge here, and before long they're out of the escape radius of the spawner, and you can very easily just bring them to a little killing chamber. So that's precisely what I did here. You can see them kind of going off the edge, but you'll notice that it's not as steep as the design you saw a moment ago. And that's because of space constraints. We've got like a rib cage over here, and then we've got a storage area down below. So if I detach, you can just see like how close this is to everything. It's literally built on top of the edge of the storage area, and right next to the rib cage as well. And if you squint really hard, this corner of the room now drips water particle effects, which I'm just not bothered by. So the plan is to decorate a room around the outside here and create a proper entrance down to the killing chamber, which again is pretty straightforward. I'm using mud blocks now, which is kind of cool. This just means that there's no need for like a minecart to go back and forth to pick up all of these items. I mean, you could just drop the skeletons onto slabs, right? But I've done it with mud blocks. So we have an item destroyer for anything that isn't bones, and we've got an item filter here for bones to take them down to, guess what, another shulker box loader. And in here, yes, look at that, I've been farming tons of bones. And so with this fresh and nearby supply of bones, I mean it's literally made next to the rib cage, we can now stock up our netherwood farms with tons of bone meal. And I needed to do that because I have just chewed through 2 entire shulker boxes of wood to make this box that apparently you want this box. Yeah, I'm going to leave these in the shopping district. There's going to be 3 of them to begin with. If someone comes by and opens it, it says you want this box. This is where all of that wood went to. I had to make a lot of chests to fill up 3 of these. And if you're thinking about doing a little math, it's 576 shulker boxes you'll be able to make if you buy this box. Now, I did say that I was going to be giving these shulker shells away, but I will charge, and I think 9 diamond blocks for one of these boxes is a fair price. I mean, a lot of effort went into putting all of this together. So what I've done is I've picked some highly trafficked spots to leave these 3 down. Simple instructions are on the outside. It's also a little bit eye-grabbing as well. So then someone's going to have a look at what's inside, and if they want it, they know where to go to pay. This, by the way, is the Hermitcraft TCG Recycling Factory. So inside of here, you can take your TCG bundles, which you get when you buy a pack, and then you can recycle them. So 10 of them, I think, gives you 1 token. Problem for me is that I've got over 10 of these bundles, but I'm actually using them currently to sort out my cards. And you'll notice here that I've gotten some more tokens. I got 1 of these tokens for participating in something. It eludes me right now, but the other thing was playing Total Chaos, in which I finished in 2nd place, which got me 3 tokens. Before we jump to that, the other place is right outside Beef's TCG shop. And the other spot is outside the nether portal. So obviously the strategy here was to pick some popular trafficked places to put these down. Now before we get to the Total Chaos footage, I will say that I have actually been doing a lot of other things on the server too while I've been sick. So next episode is probably going to be a jam-packed one, as I've still got lots more to show you. Anyways, let's jump to this new edition of Total Chaos, where we now play with tridents and shulkers shoot shulker bullets into the arena, so you can float.
Welcome everybody to Total Chaos.
Here we go.
Let's do this thing.
Let's go. You can start spreading out.
Start spreading out.
Ooh.
Oh, countdown.
Get away from me,
boy.
Impulse.
Okay. Okay, everything's fine. This is a
Oh, my totem already
start.
popped. My
This is
totem already
fine.
popped.
Oh my
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the shulkers.
This is crazy.
Oh no!
Oh, man. Oh,
Everything's
there's the
fine.
levitation.
Almost hurt each other? What's happening?
I was just going for you. You were looking
What's
straight up.
happening?
I'm like, there's my next victim.
God, this is so
Oh,
nuts.
Oh goodness!
What
Oh
is
goodness!
going on?
oh, man.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Okay, just
Oh,
took
that's
the
instant
thing to the
damage. That's
face.
instant damage.
Whoa.
Oh gosh!
Beef, you're
No,
about
no,
to
no,
get hit
no,
by a shulker.
Not the damage. Why always the damage gets me?
Etho Shulker!
Oh,
It's okay. I want to fly. I want to fly.
Hi, Ren.
I gotta get hit by one of these.
Ah!
Wait, am I the only one who died?
I got it.
I
This
think
is
so.
insane!
I'm
Wow, I suck.
good. I'm good. I'm good.
Whoa! I'm so slow.
goodness.
Jam, watch your
wow.
back, Jam. Watch your back.
I see somebody over there.
Oh
I
my
got some more
gosh!
healing. Got some more healing.
Part of the wall.
You're definitely
gone.
supposed to.
Initiated.
You're definitely supposed to hit each other, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fight!
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, right, yeah. We're supposed to be fighting.
Oh, it's
so
laggy.
laggy.
I was avoiding stuff.
Leave
Death
me
from
alone.
above,
Yes,
Etho.
way.
I got you. I got you.
Why you do this?
Sorry, Red!
I heard somebody in there.
Mary
This is
Poppins over
madness.
here trying to get me.
This is madness. Uh-oh. Oh my god.
My
Oh,
hotbar
that's
is
gonna
full
hurt.
of
Wow.
dripstone.
What's happening?
It's epic!
Oh, that was a bad hit.
Use your camera account, Ren.
Yeah, man, this is awesome.
Oh no, I'm
no,
flying
no.
again.
Carnage.
Gem's airborne. No
I need
way.
heals. I need heals.
Oh, totem.
Heal, heal.
Oh, that lost my night
Oh, the
vision.
top down. No way.
What the heck?
The floating
Oh.
is next
Dodge
level
him.
tech.
Oh,
this
oh
is-
my God.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I'm almost at the sky!
Well done.
Uh-oh, you're gonna burn.
Run, Etho, run!
Why can't
Oh,
I
no,
move?
no, 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 no.
Not the
How
damage.
did you not
the
die?
damage.
Honey,
That
honey,
is
honey, honey, honey.
Outrageous.
That was intense.
Truce,
Alright.
truce.
What?
There is no truce in war.
Don't do it, Etho. Come on,
Stop
this
it! Stop it! I need
Oh,
heals.
I got some kind of weird potion effect.
Oh man, it might be Turtle Master. Might be Turtle
No,
Master.
no. Oh,
Oh, you got postmortem.
totem activated.
Ooh, ow,
Oh,
ow,
damn!
ow,
No,
ow,
we're
ow,
friends.
ow,
We're friends.
ow.
Come
Canadians.
here, Etho. Come
No,
here,
no, no,
Etho.
no, no, Jevin.
Oh, you popped me.
Unbelievable.
Get him!
So many different death messages, man.
Fly, Etho, fly.
Trying.
Oh. Come here, Etho. Look at
Why
Gem.
me? Why me? I'm a good
Coming
guy.
down to a
He's
PvP
onto
battle.
you.
I'm a good guy, he said.
Gemini Slay is on it. Oh. Oh.
Oh, oh,
oh,
oh,
oh.
jeez!
Egg.
Lay off!
There's some
Lay
holes
off.
in the walls.
Yep.
There more now. Going floating.
Lay off, whoa.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
it's so
happening,
laggy.
That was like
I just got nuked.
I went up there to take a look. I got
Me too,
annihilated.
me too.
This is nuts!
Oh, it's so
Your
laggy.
battle.
He's still alive.
There's still 4, I think.
Understand.
Can't
Yeah,
believe you
yeah.
still have
Oh,
ammunition.
who's
man.
hitting me?
Keeps on-
Me?
look-
Hi!
Oh,
You
it's
look
just
like
that's
you
I'm
have
just
no idea
watching. I'm
what's
just
going on.
watching.
Damage. Into the
Oh,
damage.
so
I gotta kill
laggy.
Jevin. Revenge
Oh,
There it is. There it
from
is.
last time.
X,
The last
Etho,
three.
and Gem.
Top three. Top
Yeah.
three.
Oh.
There we go.
No, it's for
Your
the
head's
coins.
just popping out there. That's funny. Just a little beef
I'm
head.
watching.
No.
I'm watching.
No!
Oh, oh.
No!
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Good strat,
Floating is
Gem. Hang
happening.
back and finish off whoever's left. I like it.
Here goes the floater.
No, 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 no.
Ah.
oh, Etho.
Oh,
It's
dang.
like scoot shooting, man. Shoot him down. It's really hard to move.
My potion ran
Nowhere
out.
to
I
hide.
can't see a thing.
So laggy!
Mine ran out so long ago.
Oh no.
This
Your
might be it
fault
for
if,
me.
Oh, no.
if it takes so long.
I have like 3 FPS.
Uh-oh.
Etho!
You better run, Jim. You better run. I'm
don't
pretty bad
have
at
enough
PvP. You don't
FPS
have
to
to
run.
worry. You don't have to worry about me.
I have enough.
I can't
You're
get
gonna
back
get me. I
down.
can't heal. I can't get you.
Oh, a zoomer from the side.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Get him, Etho. Get him. Kill him.
Uh-oh.
All right. Third
Final
place,
duel.
Gem. Well done.
Oh my
Take
gosh, I
that,
feel
I'll take
I gotta
that.
get out of here.
Where are the heals? I can't
There
see
we
the
go.
colors anymore.
Uh-oh. Come on.
Just us
Go
two
in.
left.
Run over there. Kill him, Etho.
For it.
I can't. I need.
Oh man,
I need help.
I'm gonna be dead before he gets near me.
Good. Good.
Oh, this is it. This is it.
Final battle. Fight.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oh.
All right. It's the last of my food.
How long does this
Yeah.
game go on for though? Like, are we gonna ever run out of dripstone here?
Oh, you've
Great.
been
Oh my God!
for a minute.
Oh, there you go.
That was a big hit.
Somebody's on fire.
Oh, he's walking
go.
through all the potions.
Come on.
Oh,
come
I
on.
got.
Right
I
in the
got the.
face. Oh, you lost your helmet.
Armor's
Dang.
breaking.
Oh, the armor's gone. Oh
The
no.
armor's going.
Whew.
Epic battle. My God, I'm getting a headache.
Ethan with the anime flying.
Getting close to that lava, Etho.
Ethan's
There
gone
you go.
Super Saiyan.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
jeez.
Wow.
Oh, he's got me.
the-
He's got
the
me. He's
momentum.
got me.
He's got the momentum.
He's got